Hey y'all, thank you for watching Afrobat TV. Today I'm gonna be sharing with y'all some um I guess advice, tips, whatever, for people that you may be thinking about going natural. You are natural, you're trying to start a healthy hair journey, or this can really help anybody at any stage of their natural hair journey. If you're transitioning or if you're just doing research about it, whatever, I feel like these can help anybody. So I'm gonna just try to get to the point. I don't want this to be too long. So first, I wanted to tell y'all about just like a starter kit that you can get when you're going natural. It doesn't have to be like anything like expensive or anything you have to go out of your way to get. It's like literally you can get the stuff from like Family Dollar, Dollar Tree, whatever is, closest to your convenience. So in my opinion, the bare minimum necessities you need to start your natural hair journey is some type of detangling tool. It can be a brush, a comb. I use a wide tooth comb. That's what works for me. To me, that's the best thing you can use. But you'll have to just experiment to see what's best for your hair, what won't cause breakage and things of that nature. But 9 times out of 10, if you start out with a wide tooth comb, I mean, that's gonna be your best bet. The next thing you're gonna need is a deep conditioner. This is probably like the most important thing you're gonna need, because deep conditioners are so important because they replenish your hair. They strengthen your hair. They just do so many things. So it's good to find a deep conditioner that is good. I actually made a video on some deep conditioners of all price ranges, so it can accommodate anyone. I'll just link it down below for y'all. A conditioner with slip, or some type of detangling agent, detangling spray, detangling cream, some type of detangling thing. But the best thing is like just a cheap conditioner with a lot of slip. I recommend, actually I'm gonna show it to y'all. The product I actually wanted to show y'all is at a friend's house, but I have some other suggestions. Okay, so I like to detangle. I like to use this right here is the Camille Rose Moroccan Pear Conditioning Custard. This is expensive. I'm not gonna tell y'all to go out and get this, but this is great for detangling. I have the As I Am Detangling Conditioner. This one's probably like $10, $8, so that's not really that bad. And it's really a great, it's really a great detangler. Like, it's gonna melt all those knots away. I highly recommend that. And you can also use a co-wash as a detangler. A lot of co-washes have great slip. The Cantu one is good. This one I'm showing y'all is the Cream of Nature co-wash. This has great slip. And there's one, it's the Garnier Fructis. I'm gonna try to show y'all a picture or something or link it, whatever, but it's like $5. It's very rich and creamy, and it's like you can use a lot of it without feeling guilty about it. It's not like a $13 conditioner that you're using, and it's kind of like going down the drain. So I just would say, for a conditioner, just get something cheap that has a lot of slip. Yeah. The next thing is a shampoo. Now, this depends on what your hair and scalp needs. For me, I have a normal type of scalp. Like, I don't have a scalp condition or anything, so I just usually pick up like a moisturizing shampoo or whatever. But there's sulfate shampoos, sulfate-free shampoos. You might have a scalp problem. You might want to go for anti-dandruff, anti-itch. That is really just gonna depend on what your hair and scalp needs, and what route you're gonna go on. A lot of people use sulfate shampoos and it does nothing to them. Some people use them and it makes the hair fall out dry and brittle. So you really have to determine that for yourself, what kind of shampoo is gonna work. But for the average person without a condition, You can just go for any type of moisturizing shampoo, and a clarifying shampoo if you're somebody who does protective styles or anything of that nature and just need to, you at some point you're gonna have to like really fully cleanse your hair, because you're just gonna have to do that at some point. So the next one I would say is a moisturizer or a leave-in conditioner. I like to use leave-in conditioners. They work for me. They give me the amount of moisture that I need. You can use a moisturizing cream. I can show y'all an example. All right, so an example of a leave-in conditioner that I love is the Miele Organics leave-in. This works for mostly any styler that I use. And also how you moisturize your hair depends on how you're gonna style it. Like, are you somebody that's gonna have wash and goes, you're gonna wear twists a lot, are you gonna wear protective styles a lot? It depends on that. So if you're somebody who does twist braids or like protective styles a lot, I don't know if just a leave-in is gonna help your hair lock in moisture for a longer amount of time. So you can use like a thick cream moisturizer like this. This is the TGIN Curl Food Daily Moisturizer, and this is like a thicker cream that you can use to twist your hair with. And I'm more so talking about like if you're doing a more long-term type of style. Like this type of style I wouldn't use if I'm doing wash and goes, but I would twist my hair with it and put it in my hair before I get braids or a wig or something done to it. So you just have to determine like how are you styling your hair. That depends on how you're gonna moisturize it. So speaking for myself, using a leave-in and then a styler, that is good enough for me. But your needs may be different, so you're gonna have to like play around with that and see what works for you. The next thing you're gonna need is a styler, and like I said, again, that depends on, you might have to play around and experiment with, does a wash and go work? Does twisting work for you? Does protective styling, majority of the time work for you? Because if you protective style a lot, wear braids or wigs a lot, I don't really see the point of you buying a gel or a custard or anything like that if your hair is just going to be tucked away the whole time. But if you're somebody who does plan to wear your hair out, you can go for gel, cream, custard, mousse. Like there's a plethora of different type of styling products out there. I just would say just play around with them and just figure out what type of results that you want. And it's really just about experimenting and just doing process of elimination to see like, okay, these combinations of products work, or this gives me this result, blah blah blah, and then just kind of make a mental note of that type of thing. The next thing that I would say is you need trimming scissors. You can literally get this at Walmart for like $7. Okay, it doesn't have to be the fancy ones that you get from Sally's. It don't have to be the $30 ones. Okay, the $7 one at Walmart is gonna do you just fine. It's gonna do the same thing. And a tip I have for trimming is you can trim your hair when it's in twists. Like you twist your hair and just like snip the ends. That's what I do. It works for me. You can try that. You don't have to blow dry your hair to straighten it, but if that makes you feel, if that's the most efficient thing for you, then do it. But it's not like a must, but you absolutely do not have to get a silk press to trim your hair. Like, I don't know why people think that. I don't know why people is letting y'all think that you have to have a silk press just to know how to trim your hair. Like, no, you can trim your hair in its natural state, honestly. So yeah, maybe I'll probably do a video on that, but it's like literally so self-explanatory. And how you know you need a trim is like your styles may not work out, your hair snags a lot, you get those dumb little fairy knots, those single strand knots, and your hair is just hard to detangle and hard to manage. 9 times out of 10, you need a trim if you're experiencing those things. I recommend that you get a bonnet or a scarf or a satin pillowcase. Now, I know a handful of people who are natural, healthy hair, nothing's wrong with their hair whatsoever. They don't wear a bonnet, scarf, or nothing to sleep. So, hey, if that applies to you, if you can just go without a bonnet or a scarf, hey, do your thing, chicken wing. But for me personally, I like to have a bonnet or scarf or something on my head. You know, for me, it helps my hair to stay moisturized long. It helps my styles last long. But you know, I know someone like she never wears a bonnet and her hair is healthy as hell. It's long, it's growing, and you know, it just depends on what works for you. You know, so you can experiment and toy around with that. And the last thing I would say as a starter kit that you'll need is some type of oil. This don't have to be nothing overcomplicated. You don't really even have to get like a oil from a brand or anything unless you want to, but you can get like, now this is the type of thing you kind of have to like do research on to see like what your hair needs. Um, you know, some people may need more lightweight oils, some people can do heavier oils. Some oils some people are allergic to, so I can't say, you know, an oil that, because not everything works for everybody. I like to get store-bought oils, and I like to make my own oil mixture. Um, I would say when choosing an oil, you just have to see what your hair needs. Like, do you have dry scalp? Do you have inflammation? Do you have itchiness? You got flakes? You know, and some people, oils don't work at all for them. Some people don't use oils and their hair is just fine. So you have to really see, you know, what category you fall in. So that's it for like me, just a basic starter pack. I feel like those types of things, as long as you have that, you should be pretty good. You can find those types of things really anywhere, the Dollar Tree, you know. Okay, so as a reference, I know that everybody's journey does not end up the same, but for as a reference, in my opinion, I think that the first 1 to 2 years of you being natural should just be like an experimental phase. It's gonna be awkward, okay? I mean, it depends on if you just big chop or if you transition. That's a big factor in it as well. But either way, whatever route you take, like that is an experimental phase. Like, you have to see what works for you and what doesn't. Like, nobody can do that for you. Nobody can tell you what's gonna work for you and what's not. Like, you have to try for yourself to see if whatever the product, the regimen, the method, the style, whatever it is that you're trying to achieve, you have to experiment with different things to see like what's your niche. So I would say the first 1 to 2 years of you being natural, you're pretty much just figuring things out. Is an experimental phase. It's an awkward phase. It can be frustrating. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, it can be frustrating, but I feel like by the time you get to 3 to 4 years natural, you should have a routine. You should have like a basic idea. You should have a go-to style. You should have like a basic arsenal of products that you know work for you, that you're consistently using, that you know, like whatever hair challenges, I guess, that you have, it helps with those things. I'm not saying you gotta have everything figured out, because nobody will ever have everything figured out. I've been natural for almost 6 years, and I don't really use heat in my hair. I don't know how my hair will. I haven't used a flat iron in a long time. So hey, I don't know if my hair can handle a flat iron. You know, so it's always something, no matter what stage of you being natural, that you have to learn. So it's not like you're gonna get to a stage where it's like you just know every single thing about your hair. But me, I feel like I'm at a stage I know everything about my hair. Like, you have to basically get to a point where nobody else can tell you how your hair is gonna behave. So anyway, so the first word of advice I would say, before even starting, like taking forth any action with being natural, you have to figure out why you're going natural. Like, this is something not a lot of people are really saying. If you're going natural because, somebody, you heard somebody went natural and their hair grew to their ankles, and now you want to be natural. You're not really gonna enjoy being natural because you're just gonna be comparing yourself to that other person. If you're going natural because you think that you're gonna have ringlet, loose textured curls, you're gonna be very disappointed, and you're gonna have a lot of self-hatred if you think that if you go natural hoping for a loose texture, you're gonna be disappointed. If you That's not really a good reason to go natural. If you're going natural because someone's pressuring you into it, you're not gonna enjoy it. Like, you have to figure out whatever the reason is for yourself to go natural. You have to know, because that's gonna determine how your journey goes. You know, it's all about your mindset and your intentions toward it. So if and I can't say what's the right or wrong reason to go natural. Like, that's subjective. That's up to the individual to decide. Me, I went natural because I wanted healthier hair, and I just wanted to try something new, really, honestly. So yeah, you have to figure out why you're going natural. The next huge tip I would say is be realistic and manage your expectations. This is a big thing. Like, people think that you know, just because someone else does something, that does not mean that you're gonna get the same results. And that doesn't mean something is wrong with you if you don't get the same results as another person. So just be realistic. Like, if someone else uses an oil and it made their hair grow 17 inches in a week, what in your mind makes you assume that you're gonna get the same results as that person. You might do, you might don't, but don't go into everything with reasonable expectations. If you go into everything thinking that you're gonna get like the utmost outcome of it, you're gonna be disappointed. So it's just like, I'm not saying have low expectations, but just have reasonable expectations. You know, don't think that, like, just because a product may promise, oh, you know, you're gonna have so much thickness and growth, in this time span, you know, don't bet on that so much. I feel like that's like a big reason why a lot of people just give up going natural. It's because y'all have these crazy expectations, and I just don't know what y'all thinking. Like, I don't know what y'all thinking, you know. Just be realistic with everything, be reasonable with everything. The next tip I have is don't listen to everybody you hear. It can be in your life, it can be online, YouTube, Instagram, whatever it is. Don't listen to everybody, okay? When you first go natural, like, people gonna be talking like crap about you. Like, people gonna be calling your hair nappy. People gonna be like, oh, why you changed your hair? You need to go back to how you was. People gonna be saying a lot of rude things, honestly, and like, it's messed up. People should keep their comments to themselves, but at the same time, like, if you want to be natural, sorry, but you kind of have to develop thick skin. Like, I know it sucks, we don't live in a perfect world, but it's like, you have to develop a thick skin if you want to be natural, because people are gonna be rude. And you know, people are gonna try to give you advice. You have to weed out who has good intentions and who doesn't. Some people say things as backhanded compliments. Some people try to throw shade at you. You have to weed out who has good intentions and who doesn't, you know. And some people just be giving advice and just be talking out of their ass, honestly, or they just may be regurgitating what they heard somebody else say, and they don't even know if it's true themselves, but they just repeating it to you, and they don't even know for themselves if it worked or not. So it's like, just take what people say at a grain of salt. Like, don't take everything to heart. You know, like, if you're somebody who cares all the time what people think of you, like, you might as well just not even go natural, because, you know, being natural, like, it's accepted, but also still met with a lot of pushback, especially, like, you know, it can be from your own family. Like, Like in school when I was going natural, like people used to in school when I was going natural, like people used to say I look like Harriet Tubman. People used to say like my own dad, like he used to say like, oh, you should have went back to how you was, like. And you know, if you listen to them, I mean, it's up to you what you do, but you know, my next tip is do what works for you. Okay, if you're somebody, if you don't sleep with a bonnet on, if you use sulfate shampoos, if you use grease, if you wash your hair once a month and you're seeing good results by doing that, keep doing it. Do what works for you, no matter what it is. Like if you see that is benefiting your hair and giving you the results and outcome that you want, do it. Okay, don't be listening to all these people trying to preach to you about, oh, you shouldn't be using this, you shouldn't be doing that, da 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 da. Like, no, screw that. Okay, everybody on the face of this planet, hair is different, has different needs, and everything is not going to work for everybody. There is no one size fits all product, routine, regimen, whatever you want to call it. There's nothing that's going to work for everybody. Okay, so don't listen to these people that be like trying to have a natural hair handbook and trying to preach to people. Like, no, do what works for you. Okay, sorry. The next thing, probably the most important thing, is maintain a consistent routine. Consistency is like so important when, like, well, really when doing anything. Like, people think that they just use a product one time and, you know, oh well, it didn't give me what I want, so like, no, you have to. Do you go to the gym and the first time you go to the gym you expect to walk out with a six-pack? No. So you have to keep doing things. You have to keep up a consistent routine to see if it works for you, if it's benefiting you. Okay, so, and your routine can be anything. Some people wash their hair once a month, some people do it every 2 weeks, some people do it once a week. Some people moisturize their hair once a week. Some people moisturize their hair every 2 weeks. Some people moisturize their hair every 3 days, you know. Whatever it is that you're doing, do it on a consistent basis, okay? It doesn't have to be, and it also has to match your lifestyle as well. Like, I feel like a lot of people think that being natural is too much work because it's like they're not doing it in a way that fits in their lifestyle and in their routine. And a routine doesn't have to be like just such a strict type of militant thing. Like, it's just something that you're doing on a consistent basis, you know. Like, I take myself for example. Like, I wash my hair like every other week, but every wash day I do deep condition. I mean, it depends on the product, but I usually would like co-wash in between. So I'll wash my hair, and then like the week after, I might co-wash, and then that next week I would shampoo. And it's not like, it's never on the same day of the week, but the time frame of it is a consistent thing. So, you know, I personally get good results from that. So you just have to see what your routine is and then just keep doing it, you know. Don't be afraid to experiment and take risks. That's what being natural is all about. It's just taking a risk. You know, if your twist out fail, hey, it failed. Like, are you gonna die from that? Like, yes, it is annoying and frustrating when something don't work, but it's like, are you really gonna die if your Bantu knot out don't work out? If your perm rod set don't work out? Like, are you gonna die if this wash and go do not work out for you? No. Like, just charge it to the game and say, okay, that style not the best for me, that product not the best for me, and then just keep it pushing. It's like, you know, it is what it is if it don't work out, you know. How are you gonna know what works and what don't work if you're not trying things out? You know what I'm saying? So you gotta be fearless. The next thing is actually learn your hair. Actually take the time out to learn your hair. Like, it is so important to know just even little things about your hair. Like, you have to know how your hair behaves when it's in humidity, when it's wet. You have to get to know your hair to know if it's dry or not. How it acts when it's moisturized, how it looks when it's moisturized. how it looks and acts when it's dry, how it looks and acts and feels when you need a trim, when you need a shampoo. Like, you have to genuinely really sit up there and study your hair to know what's this, what's this, what's this, you know. And that's just gonna make it and it is a little bit confusing at first to try to figure out, like, you know, like how your hair behaves and things of that nature. It can be a little bit frustrating, but once you do know, like me, I just know my hair. Like, I just know it like the back of my hand. Like, I know when it's dry. Like, I just know, you know, I know when my scalp is dry. Like, I know what to do, you know, in those situations. Like, I know how to moisturize it. Like, I just know how to fix my hair if something is wrong with it. And you have to get to the point where it's like you need to know what to do to your hair based on the situation. And I guess the last like tip of advice I would say is, don't go crazy just buying up random products, okay? I don't really know who is telling people to just, soon as you think about going natural, just go out and start buying all these products, okay? That is not smart, okay? Don't just go out, spend a rack on products, and then not now one of them work for you, okay? Like, that's not really a smart approach to have. Like, I would say, I mean, it depends on your budget, it depends on your wallet, you know? And you have to be practical with this type of thing. Like, is it really logical to go out and just buy all these products? Like, you don't even have a reference for what ingredients work for you or not, and you're just going out buying random stuff? No. I mean, it's kind of like hard to say what to do when you're first going natural, but don't go out and just buy random stuff, okay? You don't even have to always go out and buy like the name brand thing. It's just, I mean, it depends on what, I mean, generally speaking, it's not always true, but the more expensive products have the better ingredients. So it just kind of depends on what angle you want to go. If you want to be natural, you know, do you want to be ingredient conscious or whatever? It just depends. But I wouldn't say just go out and just start buying a whole gang of products and you don't even know nothing. You're just buying random stuff. So I just would say, like, you know, just work with like a very affordable kind of bare minimum range of products. Like, when I first started going natural, like, I was using Africa's Best, Mane and Tail, the ORS. All of those things are like easily accessible. They're not expensive. You know what I'm saying? And then when you get to a point where you're getting more and more familiar with your hair, the product, the type of ingredients and whatnot that it likes, then you can start like going for, you know, the Camille Roses and the Shea Moistures and the Miels and all of that. But you know, the brand and the name don't really matter. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's pretty much all of the tips and advice I can give to someone who's trying to be natural, thinking about it. That's pretty much it. If y'all have any additional comments, questions, concerns, of course, leave them down below. And I'll do my best to try to help you or to point you in the right direction of help. And yeah, thank you for watching. I hope that these tips were beneficial to you. Yeah, thank you.